Hello, everyone. Hello, good evening. Bear with us for 1 second. We are going live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, just wanting to make sure that everyone can see us. So let me know for those who are watching live that you can see and hear me. That would be greatly appreciated. Whew, what a day. I hope everyone is having a good night. I hope you all are watching the results come in and spending some time with your loved ones. I wanted to pop in. I apologize for it taking so long. It was really, really important to our team and to me that we waited till every single vote was counted. We really believe that no matter what the results look like, we wanted every single vote to count. So I am disappointed to share with you that we were not successful in our race today for state senate. We ran an incredible campaign, and I cannot say enough about how proud I am of my entire team, every single volunteer, every single supporter, every single donor, every person who held signs and made phone calls, and got voters out there and helped us drop lit, and everything you all did. I am so incredibly grateful for all of your efforts. Truly, we built a grassroots campaign together, all of us. We came into this race unknown, with not a lot of money, up against a very well-funded Republican incumbent in a district that is hard to win in as a Democrat for this seat. This is a seat that's been in Republican control for 26 years. So we knew from the very beginning that this was an uphill battle, no question. But I don't want to spend my time here talking about how tough this was or how hard this was. I want to talk about everything we did accomplish. I am so incredibly proud of everything we accomplished in this campaign. We entered this campaign in January, pre-COVID pandemic, when we thought we were going to be able to door knock, we thought we were going to be able to have events. And pretty quickly, within just less than 2 months, we entered into one of the most challenging periods in American history. We did that, I think, with grace and compassion and energy. And we made sure that in this campaign, we talked about the issues. We talked about what really mattered, and that is people in this district, and not just in this district, but all over the Commonwealth. Because at the end of the day, we have a massive inequality problem. We have a massive injustice problem in this state. And it's one that, frankly, not enough people were talking about before this race. So despite what the results were, I am so incredibly proud, because let's talk about what we did talk about on this race. We talked about racial justice. We talked about Black Lives Matter, and the need for speaking out against white supremacy, and not just saying that we support Black lives, but actually fighting for them and actually putting policies in place that eradicate systemic racism, that are truly anti-racist to their core. And I cannot tell you how meaningful that is to me, that you all were part of that conversation with us, because no matter who wins the presidency today or in a few days when we find out, no matter who wins the Senate, and despite the results of our race, this work continues. This work continues. And let's be honest, we still have a state senator now in this district who is not a vocal, bold voice for eradicating systemic racism. We still have a state senator who is not a fighter for reproductive justice. We still have a state senator who is not willing to take big, bold steps towards the systemic change that we need, because when we wake up tomorrow, it's still going to be hard to afford our houses and our childcare and our healthcare. And we're still going to struggle with our underfunded public schools. And we're still going to struggle with the economic crisis that's been created by this pandemic. We're still going to struggle with the lack of job opportunities and the freaking slow pace on tackling the climate crisis. I ran for state senate because I was sick and tired of mediocre politicians taking baby steps, or let's be honest, bullshit steps, to actually tackling the big issues that we're all facing. And I am so damn proud of this campaign and our team and every single one of our supporters, because we did not let them get away with it. We made those issues front and center. We talked about them. We made people uncomfortable, but we pushed forward, because that's what you have to do to have big, bold change. And I want to be very, very clear, that work does not end tonight. I am still in this fight, and there is a lot that I can do whether or not I'm in the state Senate. And there is a lot you can do with me. So I am just, here, now I'm like, okay, I have to look at my notes and I think my notes locked up. So hold on. My team very wisely gave me notes because they knew I would just go on and on and on. So we're going to get the notes back, and I'm going to touch on all the points that I'm sure I probably skipped. I'm loving the comments I'm seeing. Thank you to everybody. I'm going to go back to the top and start here. Olivia says, rooting for you always. Tora says, thank you, Meg, for everything. You rock. Honestly, Tora, it's the whole team. Everybody rocks. Hallie says, go Meg. We've got some great comments here. Another go Meg. Oh good, Elizabeth and Shayna were telling me you can see me. Perfect. I'm glad I wasn't talking to myself for the last 10 minutes. Celia, looks and sounds good. So proud of you, Meg. Honestly, the whole team. I love this comment. Elizabeth, you and your team are amazing. Sorry to my folks on Instagram. You can't see my Facebook comments. Henry's asking over on Instagram results, and yet, Henry, they did not go the way we wanted to go. But let me just tell you this, and we're still counting votes in Weymouth, to be clear. So I do not call anything until every single vote is counted. But we've looked at the numbers. We know the reality of the situation. 44,000 people in this district said they wanted change. 44,000 people said no to mediocre politicians who are not willing to stand up for every single person. 44,000 people stood in support of Black lives and eradicating systemic racism and abolishing white supremacy and making equality, equity, and justice the reality in our future. So to every single person who voted for us and for this campaign, I am not done. This work is not done, and we are still in this with you. Nicole over here on Instagram says, love you, Meg. The South Shore continues to deserve leadership from you. Honestly, Nicole, thank you. But you know what? This to me isn't leadership. This is just showing up as a fellow human. This is recognizing that if my neighbor doesn't have the same opportunities and justice that I have, then our work here is not done. So we've truly got a lot to go. I'm loving all the comments. Michelle says we gave them hell. Yes, we did, Michelle. We absolutely did. And I want to send that message to anyone who's thinking about running. Even if you're thinking about running in a tough district, you're not sure you're going to win on your first time out, run anyway, because it is critical that we force our elected officials to address these policies. Until I ran, my opponent didn't have any policies on his website. Y'all have seen my website. We've got policies. You know what he has now? He's got 6. That's an improvement. Maybe we'll get 12 by the next time we run, huh? I want to bring some other comments in here. My team is laughing at me over here. That's Pendry says, it was great to see your team in action today. You guys did a wonderful job. Pendry gets a big shout out because she was my emotional support friend today. Henry over here on Instagram says, no matter how this goes, I'm already ready to support you in your next race. Henry, I love it. Give me a day to sleep and then sign me up. Kristen says, we brought so many important issues to light in the South Shore. Kristen, we did, and we're not stopping because these are still issues in our district. There's still issues across the Commonwealth. And we're not done. Brianna says, thank you for running. Commitment has been inspiring. I love that, Brianna. I'm very glad to hear that. I'm trying to wave at everybody over on Instagram, but I suck at the waving thing. So that's probably not happening. Massachusetts Speak Truth to Power says, I'm an AOC wannabe. I don't know if that's a criticism or not. Look, I'm a Meg Wheeler. I mean, I don't need to be anybody else. I'm just me and I show up as me. So if you think that's like AOC, cool. I think she's got a lot going for her. That was a criticism. You're going to have to try harder than that. Celia, your vision for the South Shore is what more and more of us are clamoring for. I love it. Big question, what's next for Team Meg? We don't know yet. We're going to have some more champagne because I believe that you should toast, to hard work and to everything we've accomplished. Fitch over here on Instagram says, hey, Meg Wheeler, thank you so much for running. I'm a fan. I'm glad to hear that. Andy's asking about results. All right, y'all showing up late. I kind of said this at the beginning. Look, they did not turn out the way we wanted them to. But that's just the numbers of total people who voted. What did turn out the way I wanted it to is we made racial justice a conversation topic in one of the most conservative districts in this state. That's huge. Y'all, we got people in Hingham and Cohasset and Duxbury and Norwell and Scituate to put Black Lives Matter signs in their yards because we weren't afraid to talk about these things. And we're not afraid to continue to talk about these things. And look, I'm not always comfortable with these conversations. I have to address my privilege every single day as a white woman, but I am here for those conversations and I will continue to show up. Hannah on Instagram says, thanks for being you, Meg. I'm excited to see what you do next. This is just the beginning. That's absolutely right. Hell yeah, more champagne. Yes, absolutely. Um, Michelle says, hey, Meg, you are the future of Massachusetts politics. Love you. I sure as hell hope so, because we had a lot of fun. And I think Massachusetts politics could use a few more young, exciting, passionate women with policies. Michelle is an incredible candidate for state rep, and I was very pleased to share the stage, if you will, with her this year. Anne on Instagram says, this is a movement, not a moment. I love it. Nicole says, yes, you did. You helped build a movement, Meg, and that doesn't end here. And again, it's not just me, y'all. I mean, yeah, I was the candidate, but the team, and my team sitting here, we've got Suli, Sam, and Kat. They're on the floor sitting over here. But it's all of you, too. I mean, 44,000 people and counting voted for us. But we had over like 600 or 700 grassroots donors. We had hundreds of people making calls for us and text banking and holding signs. That's a big deal. I'm a first-time candidate with no name recognition. I don't have corporate PACs behind my back. I don't have big lobbyist support. I don't think we got a single dollar from a lobbyist that I know of. We just have grassroots folks like you and me who believe that our politicians, our elected officials should actually give a shit about every single person in their district. So that's what we did. We showed up, we cared, and we put forward policies that we know would be huge game changers for every single person here in Massachusetts. So while we're not going to go to the state Senate and be able to push those forward, it does not mean for 1 second we are not going to continue to do this work, because you can bet we are absolutely going to do it. Over on Instagram, John says, thank you for giving the South Shore the progressive voice it needed. And you know what, John? I'm not the only one. There are a lot of us here in this district. And together, we can be loud, we can be proud, and we can make change. I've got Matt over. Oh, I had Matt for a second. Oh, hold on. We'll go to Kate. Kate says, your inspiration. You ran an amazing campaign. It really made a difference. Thank you so much, Kate. Bobby, proud to call you a friend. Bobby is a good friend of mine. Yes, elect women. We need to support women in office. We absolutely do. We need to support more women. We need to support more Black people. We need to support more LGBTQ people. Until we have true diversity in the State House, we will not see the kind of policies that actually support every single person in this Commonwealth. It's just, that's the reality of it. So, so proud of you. Don't stop caring. We're never going to stop caring. I was going to say the cockroach thing, but I won't. We heard something today about, don't worry, I'll make it okay. We heard something today about, don't sort of like, don't get tired from this, right? Like find the way to rejuvenate yourself. This doesn't make me tired. This doesn't make me bummed out. This energizes me. We got 44,000 people to vote for a candidate who was proud and out there for Black Lives Matter. We got 44,000 people to vote for a candidate who talked about racial justice on the South Shore. We got 44,000 people to vote for a candidate who supports the Roe Act and reproductive justice. That doesn't make me tired. That makes me so excited to wake up tomorrow and do the work. Because I have said from the beginning, win or lose today, we got a lot of work to do. And that is work that I committed to showing up for no matter what office I was doing it from. So I am here for it. I hope you will join me in this. My phone is locked up again, so now I can't look at the notes to see what I'm supposed to say. But Matt says, I've never seen such grace. Thank you for that, Matt. Okay, I promise I'm gonna look at the notes now. Okay, I got a lot of people to thank. And y'all, we are gonna do on Thursday night, what time are we doing it? 5:30, I think we said 5:30. On Thursday night, we are gonna do a Zoom call for all of our supporters, our donors, our volunteers. So if y'all are on our email list, you'll get a link to that. Otherwise, we'll have it on our website. Please click on the link there you've got to get the Zoom link. You've got to register. That is where we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about next steps. And we're just going to kind of celebrate together. But I do want to thank some folks. Hold on. We haven't had a lot of water today, so I'm struggling. First of all, I want to thank every single one of you. I cannot stop laughing. I truly could not have done this without each and every one of you. And I know everybody says that, but I can't express how much I mean that. Every single day when you run a campaign, and especially when you run a campaign in a pandemic, it's exhausting. It's exhausting work. And every single one of you supported me. You supported me with your time, with your dollars, with your emotional support. You gave me the strength and energy to wake up every single day and keep fighting. So I'm truly grateful for that. I also want to thank all the elected officials that came out for us. And the list is too long to go through tonight. We'll do that on the Zoom call. But I was so honored how many people showed up for us. And I really am truly grateful for that. And my message to every single person who is elected or in a position of power is when you get there, don't forget about the people behind you. Bring someone up with you. And the people here in Massachusetts who reached out to our campaign and supported us did that for us. Some who were even candidates who had disappointing races themselves, but they didn't let that get them down. They reached right back around and pulled us up with them and made sure that we got here to this point. So I'm so grateful for all of you. I also want to thank every single person who was at the polls today, working those polls through early voting. You know, y'all did that in a pandemic, and we truly have you to thank. You know, this, at least from our perspective, this election went very smoothly. You know, we've heard so many compliments from people who voted, who said it was easy, it wasn't a problem. I myself went and voted in person in Cohasset, and it was easy. I was so grateful to the poll workers and the town clerks and the, you know, everyone there who made it possible for us to come out and exercise our democratic rights. So I'm really, truly grateful to all of you. And I also want to just recognize, you know, look, we are still in a massive pandemic here, and the numbers are not getting better. In many cases, they're getting worse. There are still thousands of our fellow community members who are out there fighting for us on the front lines in the hospitals, and in the grocery stores and in the pharmacies and in the small businesses trying to keep our economies propped up. And I'm so incredibly grateful to all of you for everything you do. And I am, you know, looking forward to continuing to support you as you support us through this incredibly difficult time. And I know that we will all get through this if we keep our masks on and we keep our distance and we continue to support each other, because that is really critical as we attempt to recover from what has been a very difficult year. Okay, I'm looking at my notes. I think I've covered everything that I wanted to touch on with, but just a couple of last things. I've talked a lot tonight about how we still have to do the work. I want to point out that the session has not ended. It ends December 31st, and we know that our current state senator is not a reproductive justice champion, and yet we've now heard that the Roe Act hopefully will come up for a vote this session. Look, we're worried that that Roe Act is going to get watered down. So, and that's just one of the bills in the state Senate that needs to get dealt with immediately, and frankly should have been dealt with a long time ago. So to every single person watching and who will watch this, please consider join, you know, reach out to Planned Parenthood or NARAL, sign up for a protest if you can, sign up to make phone calls. There are going to be phone banks for this stuff. Get on their mailing list so you know what they're doing. You know, we can't do in-person lobbying anymore to our elected officials, but you can still call them. You can still email them. I cannot stress how important. There are so many issues right now at the state level that regardless of what happens nationally, we've got a lot of work to do here at home. So please do not take your eye off the ball. Remember that you have the power, that your voice matters, and that these people work for you. They represent you, and do not ever forget that. I know I won't, and I will continue to do my part to make sure that our elected officials are actually paying attention to every voice in this district. Because one of the things that I heard repeatedly throughout this campaign by many different people in our community is that they never felt heard by our current state senator. And that is heartbreaking to me. So your voice matters, and that person represents you. So make sure that they are listening to what you and your communities need. All right, friends, I'm gonna leave it. Have I forgotten anything? Good, okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you all, I'm grateful for you all. Don't forget to head to our website, megwheeler.com/events, and grab the link for our Thursday Zoom. we're going to go back to watching the national election results. We're going to then get some sleep, and we will see you all on Thursday. Take care of yourself. Don't, have some self-care moments, have some rest, and then let's get back and do the work. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.